So these little apple pies would be perfect for any family gathering or an event that you need some grab and go desserts. These are awesome and you all need to try them. Okay, so you can't get a taste test quite yet, but I am going to take you back to the beginning and show you how I made these. Hey guys, it's Jess and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a what's for dessert. It's a super quick and easy and very cute dessert. If you're anything like us, sometimes I cook for just 2 of us and I open a can of biscuits to eat with dinner and I don't really need 8 biscuits. So this is the perfect recipe to split that can of biscuits, have biscuits with dinner, and then a dessert afterwards. So it's these little really cute apple pies and they are so good. After you make them the first time, you'll probably open a can of biscuits just to make these. So let's get into making them. Okay, so this is all we're going to need to make our little mini apple pies. We've got ground clove, cinnamon, some biscuits, butter, 2 apples. This is 1/4 cup of brown sugar and about 1/8 cup sugar, and then a little pinch of salt in there. You can use more apples if you want to. We just didn't have any, so I'm kind of hoping this will be enough. So now I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of butter to my pot before I add my apples in so it can get nice and melted. So now that our butter is melted, I'm going to add in our apples, and I really think 2 apples is probably going to be enough for these little mini apple pies. But I diced them up really fine, or pretty fine. They're just about the size as probably like my fingertip. And I want them to be tiny so they'll fit in the muffins really good. You can do larger little apples if you just want to put like a slice or 2 in there. But I'm going to try to get these coated in the butter really good. And then we're going to make this next step really easy. I'm going to add in my 1/4 cup of brown sugar, my 1/8 cup of just regular sugar, then I'm going to add in a teaspoon of cinnamon, and then just a couple shakes of cloves. Also, with my regular sugar, I also had about a pinch of salt in there. So I'm going to give this a really good stir. Let all the apples get coated. Okay, and now I'm going to add in 2 more tablespoons of butter because it's not very syrupy. I'm going to try to cut that out so it melts faster. Okay, I'm going to just like chop up this butter in here, so hopefully it'll get melted a little bit quicker, and hopefully it'll like caramelize in here a little bit. Okay, so now that our apples are cooking, I'm going to go ahead and get our pie crust ready, aka our little biscuit crust, and we're going to try to make these stretch really far because we don't need a single biscuit for each little pie. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our biscuits and we're going to try to separate them. It would honestly be a lot easier if we had the flaky kind. I might need a knife with these. Okay, so I'm going to spread out my dough a little bit, or try to. It doesn't have to be super thin, but I want it to be big enough so it'll come up on the sides of these
muffin
tins, cupcake tins. So it needs to be pretty big, but I think that'll be fine. I'm going to try to work them up on the sides here. Okay, and the easiest way to separate these is just with some kitchen shears. I'm just going to go around and cut them and kind of separate them while I'm cutting them. This way you don't like smush the whole biscuit. So I'm getting 2 pie crusts out of 1 biscuit. So the ones I seen on Pinterest that I thought looked super good. And then I seen somebody on YouTube make them, but she made them with, I believe, cinnamon rolls, and they looked really good, but they looked really puffy. The biscuits did, and I thought that looked really, really good. So I was just getting some content for Instagram here. I always forget this part when I'm filming to give you guys like little sneak peeks, but hopefully I'll get better at that. Okay, so now I'm just going to go through and kind of try to squish these up a little bit more. We're going to take a toothpick and make a couple holes in the bottom so they don't puff up on us. Okay, so these are going in the oven at 350 for about 12 minutes. If they're not done, we'll add 2 or 3 more minutes until the biscuits are done. So in this little bowl, I've got a tablespoon of butter and then just a couple drops of vanilla. I'm going to put in a couple tablespoons of powdered sugar. And you're just going to add powdered sugar until it's the consistency you want it to be. So I'm going to make mine a tad bit thicker because it's going to melt when it gets on the little apple pies. But we're going to stir it up really well. And then once it starts getting clumpy, you're going to start adding your milk to make it however thick you want it to be. Okay, and one tip is to add your milk in like by the teaspoons because it gets thin really, really quick. They look so good. Good. Okay, so now we're going to take our icing and just drizzle them over the top. Put however much you like on here. And if you keep your icing a little bit thicker, but not like extremely thick, it seems a little bit easier to drizzle and make like little pretty lines with it. Okay, and I made this giant apple turnover with the leftover biscuits. So we'll just set that right there. Okay, so now I'm gonna give one of these a try. Looks so good. Can you see like the inside of the biscuit? It still stayed really, really fluffy. So the biscuit's still really soft, and you've got like the sauce from the apples. You can kind of see it there. Like the sauce from the apples kind of soaked in the biscuit a little bit. And those apples are really nice and tender, but they're really, really, really good. Thank you all so much for spending some time with me today. It means the world to me. I hope you guys give this recipe a try and love it just as much as we did. So that's all I've got for you today, and I'll see y'all in the next one.